Hello everyone, Cercion here. How are you all doing today? Welcome to episode 11 of my 100% playthrough of Dragon Quest XI. In the last episode, we watched Michelle the Mermaid commit kerplunk. In today's episode, we'll be cataloging the monsters of both the champs Sauvage and Eryie into our Bestiary, scouting out all the treasures we come across along the way, defeating the Elysium Bird, and applying to the Mini-Medal Academy to score ourselves some new odds and ends. With all that out of the way, let our adventure continue. We head straight over to the Strand upon loading up our save in order to pick up Michelle's parting gift, which we use to enter the kingdom of Nautica. We then speak to Queen Marina, who hands us the green McGufforb for being the main character, which we pocket before picking up the piece of water sedge by our boat and our 20-second mini medal from a chest behind the palace. Following that, we agree to find this mermaid's favorite lyricist, who gives us a ditty we deliver back to said mermaid, netting us a Gracos trident. Whilst searching for that very lyricist in Gondolia, I bought a cat suit from this vendor, which unlocked the kitty cat outfit for Veronica. I then used Lorelei's harp to gain access to the champ Sauvage and got to work cataloging its myriad of monsters. The first new monster I came across was a lump mage, which has a 1 in 64 chance of dropping some magic water and a 1 in 256 chance of dropping a wizard staff. The next monster we managed to encounter was a spiked hare, which has a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a bunny tail and a 1 in 256 chance of dropping a magic beast horn. Following that, we continued northwards where we encountered a metal slime knight, which has a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a light shield and a 1 in 256 chance of dropping a chunk of densium. We then waited for some nearby slimes to form into a king slime, which has a 1 in 8 chance of dropping a slime drop and a 1 in 32 chance of dropping a slime crown. Shortly after that, we wound up encountering some dragons, which have a 1 in 16 chance of dropping some dragon hide and a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a dragon scale. We then headed to this region's southern portion where we encountered a pteranodon, which has a 1 in 8 chance of dropping some twisted talents and a 1 in 256 chance of dropping a seed of deafness. Following that, we encountered some zoominis, which have a 1 in 16 chance of dropping a dose of strong medicine and a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a bronze lance. We then came across a golem shortly afterwards, which has a 1 in 8 chance of dropping some royal soil and a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a chunk of mithril ore. After that, we had to wait until nightfall to encounter a corpse corporal, which has a 1 in 16 chance of dropping a grubby bandage and a 1 in 256 chance of dropping a seed of life. We then made our way back up north to encounter a medi slime, which has a 1 in 16 chance of dropping a dose of strong medicine and a 1 in 32 chance of dropping a slime drop. Following that, we managed to encounter a Hades Condor, which has a 1 in 128 chance of dropping some iron claws or an eagle dagger. The final night-specific monster we came across was a Very Devil, which has a 1 in 32 chance of dropping some magic water and a 1 in 128 chance of dropping an enchanted stone. We then sat around the southern campsite until it rained, at which point we were able to encounter a Brawlygagger, which has a 1 in 16 chance of dropping some Evancloth and a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a Drawly Brawly. Along with said Brawlygagger, we were able to encounter a Brawlympian, which has a 100% chance of dropping a Thunderball and a 1 in 8 chance of dropping an additional Glumbrella. I then realized that these slimes counted as a new bestiary entry before encountering this area's final monster, a 24-carat Bunicorn, which has a 100% chance of dropping a gold nugget and a 1 in 8 chance of dropping an additional bunny tail. With all the monsters of this area finally cataloged in my bestiary, I was free to start scouting out all its notable valuables. Starting in the southern portion of this area, we can find a chest containing our 23rd mini medal before heading northwards where we can find a platinum ore geode, along with 2 more chests containing both an enchanted stone and a vanguard trinket. With the champ Sauvage both cataloged and plundered, we were free to move on to the Eryie to do the very same to it. The first new monster we wind up coming across is a rotten exoskeleton, which has a 1 in 32 chance of dropping a pale pearl and a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a green eye. We then encounter an overtoad a short while later, which has a 1 in 16 chance of dropping some toad oil and a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a Dracilian sovereign. Following that, we managed to encounter the final monster of this area, a demon rider, which has a 1 in 16 chance of dropping a beast bone and a 1 in 32 chance of dropping a magic beast horn. With all of this area's monsters cataloged in our bestiary, we were free to forage around for all its valuable goodies. As far as collectibles go, the only one of note is this sprig of slipweed found near the campsite. As for chests, there are 7 we can grab before encountering the Elysium Bird, which contain a Thunderball, our 24th mini medal, the recipe for lightning armaments, 5,000 gold coins, a prayer ring, the recipe for crow's claws, and 4 phials of magic water. We then encounter the Feeble feathered fiend known as the Elysium Bird, which goes about as well as you'd expect a boss with only 800 HP to go, and swiftly nab ourselves the silver McGufforb upon its inevitable defeat. Uncontent with the Elysium Bird's pathetic excuse for a boss fight, I made my way over to the Mini Medal Academy to ransack it of all its valuables. However, 5 seconds after touching Academy grounds, I was given a full scholarship by the headmaster due to the surplus of mini medals I had on hand. He then brought me into his office where I received a rune staff for amassing 20 mini medals before I was finally set free to begin my pillaging spree. We began by making our way down the well outside, where we acquired our 25th mini medal from within a barrel, along with an enchanted stone from within a chest. I then made my way back inside the academy itself, where I was able to find the recipe for a ton of accessories within the library, along with my 26th mini medal from within a pot in the headmaster's office. Following that, I made my way upstairs, where I found my 27th mini medal within a dresser before going around and accepting all 3 side quests found about the academy. Completing these side quests was simple work, and before long we had acquired another 3 mini medals along with some girl's bow and an academy uniform. I then gave said uniform to Veronica, unlocking it as an outfit before turning in all my recently acquired mini medals, which net me a second academy uniform which I gave to Jade, along with the recipe for some Dracilian garb, which is where I'll be leaving things for now. Our ending stats for today's episode are 149 monsters cataloged in our bestiary, 78 accolades achieved, which I'll show here for those of you curious, and an itemary that expands with each passing episode. If you made it to this point in the video, then thank you so much for watching. Take care, and have a great rest of your day.